All right. Um, First of all, I know my brother didn't upload on Monday. I apologize. Life gets in the way sometimes. Um, I wanted to share something with you, and it's one of my shortcomings, and that was me kind of always like beating myself up for loving too much. I want to take you back to 3 years ago. I met someone incredible, beyond beautiful, but more importantly, she had this vibrant personality, bro, that just amazing. You would never be bored around her. And straight away we clicked. And, you know, we got to spend more time together. We got to know each other more, da-da-da-da-da. But it always felt like... Jesus Christ. Are you saying this right now? We're just gonna turn that off. We're just gonna turn that off. Okay, so I would say probably like 6 months into us dating, if that's what you want to call it, it really felt stagnant. It really felt like there was this energy of she just wanted to be friends. And kind of just went this back and forth thing of like, are we dating, are we not dating, are we friends, are we not friends? And then I was just like, bro, like, I love you so much as a human being, as just someone in my life, that I don't care if we're not together, I don't care if we're not dating, I just want to be homies. I just want you in my life because you're so cool. And we continued like that. We ended up working on some projects together, whatnot. And something happened that we are no longer friends anymore. And for a long period, I would beat myself up with, yo, you're so stupid, you dedicated so much time to her, you spent so much money, you were driving up and down, da-da-da-da-da, and now she doesn't even speak to you, like, you're so stupid, why would you do that for anybody? I felt like that love was wasted. But as I'm progressing in life, and as I'm maturing, and as I'm reading this beautiful book over here, I've come to the realization that love is never wasted. And what do I mean by that? The times that I spent with this person were one of the happiest moments of my life. Because at that time, I was going through a lot. I was under a lot of stress. I was under a lot of stress at work. I was under a lot of stress financially. I was under a lot of stress family-wise, and as an artist, as a creator. But when I would go and see her, when we would drink some wine and we would just talk, all those worries would just go away. So that love is not wasted, because every now and then, like, you know, like when you go through your camera roll, like I was going through it and videos of us popped up, and it's just like 15, 12, 20 minutes of just us just laughing. So I don't think that love was ever wasted. I don't think the money and the driving up and the time was ever wasted, because when we were together, it was just fun. We were just laughing, you know? And it made me think about other moments in my life where I thought that I wasted my love, I wasted my time, I wasted my energy. And I don't think, now I look back at it, I don't think so. Don't get me wrong, some people don't deserve you. Some people don't deserve your love and your attention and your compassion. Some people don't. Because that's just the way it is. But always think about like, okay, what did I get out of that situation? And for me, because of her, I met some amazing people that are still in my life. Because of her, we ended up making some amazing, amazing projects. Because of her, my life was less stressful. My life was so much at the time that when I drove up to see her and to drink some Pinot Noir or some Celentino, life just felt like, oh, okay, we can keep going. You know what I mean? Like, we could keep going, we could keep going. And that was beautiful. It was worth the drives. It was worth the effort, because she really brought a lot of joy in my life. And even with other people that I am no longer close with, I don't hold any bitterness or any what ifs in my heart. I'm just so grateful that I got to experience those moments with them. And I'm so pleased with myself that I was able to show unconditional love. I was able to show, because in this generation, our love is very transactional. So I'll do something for you and you do something for me. And that's why I love you. Even when it comes to dating, it's like, what do you bring to the table type of thing. And my whole ideology is like, brother, let's like build a table. Like, before we go, what do you bring to the table? It's like, let's build a table. Let's see what we, we can do together, rather than, okay, you have to have this, you have to have that, you have to have this, you have to buy me this, you have to be okay with me dressing like this, and then I'll be with you. And it's just like, that doesn't feel like love. Love is a feeling. Love is an action. I love you, so I will do this out of love, not because I do this and you do something in return. So when I look back at these situations, and don't get me wrong, bro, like, I'm a human being. I've definitely made mistakes. I've definitely said some harsh things. I've definitely been, demanding and impulsive. But at my core, it's always been love. And one of the things that really used to upset me was I would do 99 things right. And when I would do one thing wrong, I would only be remembered for that one thing. My parents have always taught me, like, my dad said this amazing thing. He was like, if someone does the smallest act of kindness towards me, I will always remember them for that. He's like, if somebody opens the door for me, I will always remember them. Oh, that's the guy that opened the door for me. He's a kind person. And I grew up with that mentality, and I treated people like that. And when I didn't receive that treatment back, I felt like, I never blamed the other person. I always blamed myself, like it's my fault. And I always had this belief, and this is something that I'm coming out of, slowly but surely, but I always had this belief of everything's my fault. If a pigeon dies across the street, it's my fault type of mentality. And that's a very sad and toxic way to live. So when I would do those 99 things right and I did one thing wrong, I always had the expectation of like, okay, I did that one thing wrong, I apologize, and we're going to move forward. And they're going to look at the pros and cons. And I've done 99 things right, and I'm sure they're going to remember me for those 99 things, and they're going to judge me based off of those 99 things rather than that one thing I did wrong. But that's never been the case. And again, that's okay, you know, because I didn't do those things as a favor. I didn't do those things. I wasn't a kind, you know, compassionate human being with the expectation of getting that back. I just did it because I loved them. And I wanted them to do well in life. And I never want to lose that. You know, the devil wins when you change for the worse. You know, God wants to improve you. The devil wants to change you. So there's been, you know, many times where I've been in a relationship with a girl and they've ended up being like really horrible to me and da. You know, the normal thing in our generation would be like, all right, yo, I'm going to be a slut now. I'm going to be a dog. I'm just going to be slanging dick left and right. You know, I'm just going to be out here. I never had that mentality. I never judged the whole population of women based off of one interaction that I had with one woman. And I always remembered, you know, my mom and my sister. Like, how would I want a man to treat them? And how can I be a good example for my little sister? So, to go back to love is never wasted, it feels like it. You know, you feel stupid. You feel like, man, the time that I gave you and the love that I gave you and the money that I spent, and that you think that's wasted, and you have this feeling of regret. But it's not that, man. It's not that at all. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And you know, love is an amazing thing. And you always have to look at it of like, okay, you know, every input has an output. So what was the output of all that love and effort that I put in? And I look at it, and bro, I had some beautiful, joyful moments. You know, I had so much laughter. And, you know, speaking about that person, she really made me comfortable being me. Like I was able to be myself around her without the fear of judgment and without the fear of having to explain myself. And that to me is priceless, you know, to be around someone like that. Love is never wasted. I had an amazing interaction with someone a couple of days ago, last Wednesday. I had a video shoot on Thursday, and I was really struggling with, you know, finding the money to pay for everybody. And as I'm speaking to this individual, and he's probably watching this right now, what's up, Dan? You beautiful human being. As I'm speaking to him, he's just like the kindest person, you know, you would meet. He's like, all right, how many models do you need to, you know, pay for tomorrow? And I didn't have the heart to tell him the full number because I know he would have paid for the full number. So I just said 4. And the brother went to a cash point and got out the money for them. And he will never understand how much that helped. And it goes back to love is never wasted. When I met him and when we started speaking, there was this genuine love and respect for one another. And we had never met before, but there was this energy that wasn't lying. And again, it goes back to love is never wasted, because that love that I have given to other people, Dan was able to give it back to me. whether it was through money, whether it was through a conversation, whatever. That love that I've given to other people wasn't wasted because Dan gave that back. And who set that on Dan's heart? God did. God sees everything, right? And these battles that he gives us, these everyday fights that we go through, whether you're working with a co-worker that's always negative and you're naturally a positive person, whether you're not getting paid enough, whether you're having a fight with your girlfriend, whether your boyfriend doesn't treat you right, whatever, these daily battles that we go for, God sees all of that, and he sees how you react. How do you deal with this? So he may not, recoup that love. He may not just give it back straight away, but he'll give it back to you when you truly need it. And I really needed that money for Thursday. And here comes this stranger that I've never met before. And based off of just speaking to me and getting to know me, he decides to pay for the models. And you're just there like, there's no other explanation that would make sense besides God's love and besides God being there for you when you need him. Love is never wasted, because the thing is, you know the truth and God knows the truth. And that's good enough. You don't need to explain yourself to nobody. You don't need to defend yourself to nobody. The truth will come to light, and the truth will always set you free. And what does that mean? It means living your life truthfully, being who you are completely, without the fear of judgment, without the fear of walking on eggshells, being fully liberated from cultural what's it called? Damn. It's going to come to me. Bear with me. Cultural prisons. And what does that mean? You're Kurdish, so you have to be like this. You're black, so you have to be like this. You're white, so you have to... All of that shit doesn't... Bro, stop with that, please. These societal prisons that they put us in. And for what? Who are you trying to impress? And the people that you're trying to impress, the moment that you are no longer living this lie that you've been living to impress them, the moment you stop living that lie, they're going to leave you. Because you can no longer provide that service. But the being that stays throughout it all is God. And I'm not even trying to get preachy. I'm not even trying to get, all religious on you. I'm just letting you know from my personal experience. Every time that somebody has left my life, God has given me someone 10 times better. Every time that I've been knocked down, God lifts me up in abundance. I used to look back at that friendship with the girl as a waste of time and a waste of money and a waste of love. But I look at it now of like, I'm so grateful that I had her in my life for that period of my life where I was going through a lot. And she brought a lot of joy in my life. She brought a lot of laughter in my life. And I'm forever grateful for that. And I will always be there for her. Well, whatever she needs. We may not be on speaking terms. We may not see eye to eye. That's okay. That's fine. I understand that I may be difficult to deal with for some people, and I may be demanding or whatnot, but at my core, I still love them so much, and I will always be there for them, because my love isn't transactional. My love is a holy thing. It's a godly thing, and if I can love you the way God has loved me and has blessed me, oh brother, we don't even, do you know what I mean? We don't even have to talk about it. So yeah, to kind of conclude, um, love is never wasted. Never ever feel like your love has been wasted. No matter what situation you're in, I know a lot of people that give so much to their work, to their 9 to 5, and then they've been let go, they've been made redundant, they've been fired, and they're like, but how? I was always there, first in and last out, and that, and it's like, yeah, but bro, you, first of all, you got paid, and second of all, you didn't work that hard for the company. You worked that hard for your colleagues and for the service that you provide. You know? So don't ever feel like you're too above anything. That love that you had for your colleagues to make sure that the jobs were easier, so you went extra hard, or the service that you provide for people, that's never wasted, bro. And I promise you, if they fired you here, you're gonna get a job 10 times better, that pays 10 times better, that you got more time to spend with your family. That love is never wasted, bro. Never ever feel like your love is wasted. It reminds me of this comment that was left on my TikTok for last week's episode of Be Patient with Your Parents, and this guy was like, oh, I'm in my 30s, I've gone through the stages of idolizing, now I just villainize my dad, I feel like all my love has been wasted on him. And I was like, nah, man, nah, bro, because you don't know, man, your dad might be really upset that he wasn't the father that he should have been, and he has to deal with that every day. And that love that you gave him, when you have a child, when you have a son or a daughter, that love is going to come back to you. And it's going to come back to you in abundance. Love is never wasted. All right, with that being said, I love you. I hope you have a beautiful week. Let's get it cracking.